Okay, get welcome to live chat. It looks like we are up. Select stream to get started. Select a button. Stop streaming. It looks like we're on. What up? What up? What up? It's your boy Nick, HOUTX Trader, coming from Houston, Texas, right now, live and direct from H Town. Okay, guys, what we're gonna do today? Sorry, I'm just clicking on a little Discord. We are going to look at the mother, the Bitcoin, right? So in my Discord group, a couple guys are like, "Yo, make a video, show us what you've been looking at, and how did you do this, and this." So today is just a recap of how I look at Bitcoin and how I broke it down. And so I'm going to start from scratch. This is a Bitcoin US dollar. I normally trade off the Bitcoin tether chart. So, but you see, they look the same, but there's all my markup. So we're going to start from scratch and try to get to what I was at there. So again, this is also helpful, right? I use two different charts. I like to have one that's naked, maybe on like the daily, so I can kind of see what's going on. And then I also use a different chart that has all my markups, right? So I know that you can always come in here and just take them off, but sometimes I like to mark up different things on different charts. Like one's got a bunch of trend lines, or one will have like support resistance areas or whatever. So maybe use more than one chart. That way you could have different ideas. But anyways, let's get started on this. So this is what I do first thing. All right, let's just look at the daily. And so we know right off the bat, I'm going to draw some horizontal lines here. Okay, so let's just mark off the top. We have a top right here and a top right here. That is a solid double top. It does not get any stronger. Now, normally I'll come through here and I would label these all daily support resistance, and then I would lock them so they don't move. But we could do this a couple times. So we have the top there. We have a bottom, pretty good bottom there, but actually I kind of see this top and this bottom. What if I just split those two like that? Because I see that these are bottoms, this double bottom, but there's probably a wick. So if we look at the candles real quick, yeah, you see how those just are wicks then? Okay, so I think the best way is to see where this top meets that bottom. And then it also, like we just verified, it also incorporates those wicks. Okay, so let's do a couple more. Uh, Click on the tool. Okay, so we see bottom, bottom. We see this top here, this top, this bottom. Again, what I like to do is kind of split the hairs. All right, so this bottom, let's just put it right. I'm gonna go just a little bit lower, right there. Okay, so what basically we got that bottom, that top, and again, these are probably all wicks that come through there. We could do this just one or two more times. We don't need to get crazy, but I do see this double bottom here that matches up with that top right there. So again, we'll get this right in the middle best we can, and that also matches up with this daily there, and it's just a little bit outside there. So anyways, that's pretty good. Now, do we have anything in this area? You know what, I don't need to go crazy with these zones, but we do see a top and a bottom right there. So let's just do one more. I kind of like it right there, let's say, because we have a bottom, we have a top, and this top, so that line almost perfect with that top and almost perfect with that bottom, and it also incorporates this little area, that area. So it's not perfect, but if we go back to the candles, we can see that it's right in here, right? It's pretty close. Maybe on my other chart, on the tether chart, I might have had that up just a little bit. Let's just double check. Yeah, so on my tether chart, because I've had these lines on there for longer, I was probably splitting this and this and this. So let's just go back to the dollar chart. We'll move that up just a bit because I kind of want it to resemble the other one. So we'll move it to like right there. We've got this top, we've got that top, we've got that top. There's no real bottoms, but we're kind of in that area. So it's okay. It's close enough. So that's the start. Okay, so at least now I have some zones and I kind of know where we are. All right, so let's go back to our line chart. Now, as you guys know, I love my Fibonacci's. And so really what I see, and we'll just be kind of rudimentary here. up, down, high, low. So in this situation, I would be working from the bottom to the top on this, right? But now here's a low, and there's a new high. So that's the fib I'm going to be working in. Is that fib there? So that's the main fib, the big fib. All right, we're on a daily chart. We'll make it precise. We'll go with the magnifier and go bottom to top. Okay. As you guys know, I love to play in the 78, 88.6 range. And so we can mark that off as our buy zone. Buy zone. Okay. There's our buy zone. And you can see if you would have played the buy zone on the first time, you would have had a nice trade right there. And the other day, just hindsight, we played off this one and we caught that range as well. But that's not really what we're looking at right now. We're just building. All right. We're still building. I can delete this. Well, I don't want to delete it just perfectly yet. Let's just leave it on here. I see there's 236 hidden right here. I'm gonna go ahead and mark that off just because I know in my other chart I marked it off. So where's it at? Right. Close enough right there. Okay, now let's come down to like a 4 hour. Okay, now we have the high time frame stuff. Let's look at the low time frame stuff. I'll move this just a little bit. Okay, so then I also was playing this fib. So we caught this low and we traded that up already. Today, this morning, we caught this low and we traded it. So how do I find that? Well, I just drew another fib, top to bottom, on that move from this bottom, that top, right? That's where my fib was. And I see my buy zone. It's also sitting right here, 78, 88.6. So, right, if you're thinking about just the way the market moves, okay, what do we see? We see this reject the daily, come all the way up here and go all the way to the main support and then close basically on the, right, went above, that came right back down and come all the way back down and do what? Again, test this resistance, and now it's playing inside this range, right? It's playing inside the range. What did it do? So me and the guys in the Discord were watching this the entire time, and we've said we were marking this off that this is liquidity right here. So when this dipped down below, touched our fib, we were looking for buys there because we know that it's sweeping liquidity here. It popped right back up. The next candle was right back up on top of the daily support resistance area, giving us confidence, and we're holding it. Okay, so when it got up here to the 38.2 and started to get into this liquidity, I told the guys I'm closing. What I did, I closed out half of my trade right there. When it came back up, I closed out the other half of it, and I was going to trail my stop loss up. So basically, we got in here at 38.8 something, or 93.8, 38. I don't know where I got 38 from. We got in right about there, and then we, broke even, ran it up, and then trailed the stop loss right to there. Basically, 50% of the range. I was going to leave it open to see if it'd pop off. It did not. It came right back down. So Than in the group said he was shorting. Okay, well let's just sweeten this up. Okay, why would you want to short? Well, look at this trend line sitting right there. This top to these tops. You can do it from the candle or you can do it from the wick. I like doing wicks. Okay, so what he's seeing is you have this trend line, and I think it's a little better on tether. And on this would probably be a little bit lower. Right, you've got that trend line there, and just for the heck of it, this morning I showed the guys a fan again, top to bottom. And you can see that trend line matches almost perfectly with the 78.6, which is on the fan, right? So he has a 78.6 trend line, very strong. He has a daily resistance area, and he's already came up here and knocked out that liquidity. Okay, so he's just playing that it's going. You don't know. You don't know if it's going to come up to this next level or if it's going to come back to the down level. So he played the short, just like we said, and he got it. So congratulations. I mean, that's a hell of a short. It's easy. I mean, it took us all day long to build up there, and within a couple candles, he knocked that short out. So that's why we're finding some shorts there, some selling opportunities. Again, this is our buy zone. I should mark that off. Buy zone. Okay. We also see that down here for the buys. Again, we're in our 78.6 fib. We're also oversold on the RSI. Again, the selling opportunity is not quite overbought on the RSI, but it's getting it towards the top. So I actually did not take that sell because I don't need all the trades. I just need the good ones. So there's the trend line rejection. There's the daily zone. So what am I looking at now? Well, okay. So let's just delete this trend line. Now I see that there's all this liquidity, these wicks sitting right there above that daily. So I'm going to mark this off with the money symbol. Okay. We can delete this fib. We can delete this fib. Let's draw another fib from this top to this bottom. Okay. Close enough. 78.86 Fibonacci zone is right there. Right kind of in the area where liquidity is. So I'm thinking, okay, we're starting to stack some stuff up here. Sell zone. Okay. Um, I also was looking in here and saw that that's a nice fair value gap. Okay, fair value gaps draw price up. Fair value gap. Okay, so here's another reason. What else do we have? We have this wick, this wick, that wick. This one's already kind of been taken out or has been taken out. But we have this area here that's kind of like also liquidity that's going to want to push price up there to sweep that. So what we're thinking is the price is going to come up off of this area. Now this is such a strong sell. Honestly, I think it maybe come down a little bit lower. I don't like how strong that is, but eventually this price is going to want to come up, take out this liquidity, fill in this fair value gap, and maybe hit this 236 Fibonacci. That's that red line we had earlier. We also have the 78.6. We also have the daily right there, and of course the Fibonacci sell zone. So we have to think that, okay, I'm hoping the price is going to turn around somewhere in this area. So I don't think this is the true bottom here because this is such a strong sell. So maybe we kind of just wait and see what price does down in this action. So maybe it wants to come all the way back down to the 91 and maybe give us a good double bottom there, or at least fill in most of this wick. I don't know if it's going to break that. If it breaks that wick, then we're going to go much lower. So I'm thinking that we're not going to do that yet. It's still a bull market, and so I still want to be overall bullish. But what I was saying was this is going to react somewhere probably down here. Target this, target the fair value gap, and find some sort of resistance up in this area. All right. Now I don't think it's going to be a quick shot. It's probably going to be stair steppy kind of a case. Maybe even come back down one more time, then come back up. But it's going to just play, if you ask me, in this zone. If we kind of come back out a little bit, back to the daily, it should just play around, as we can see. I mean, it's just in a zone, right? As you can see, it's just in this zone. Okay. So let's just play the zone. So it's not all the way down at the bottom yet. So let's see if this price will come back down, give us an entry somewhere around here, and then we take it back up. I still think 107, 500, I've been calling out the whole time, is in play because I want it to come into this fib. I want it to take out this liquidity. And I'm not necessarily saying it's going to set an all-time high. I don't know, but let's just keep playing in that zone. So let's come back down to the 4-hour, reset our charts. All right. So we have a sell zone. We have a daily support resistance area. We have the 236 on the buy side Fibonacci. That's the red line. Fair value gap. And we have liquidity, and we have liquidity here. So I think there's plenty of reasons for this market to push up. All right. And I would think that it would have done it right here. I was not expecting such a strong sell off. I think that came off of some news of Bybit got hacked or something. So there's some sell off. But so let's just see if it'll come up maybe just a little bit over the weekend, into Sunday and see if it wants to tap into this order block and then continue to sell back down, giving us as a prime entry around the 91. That's very reasonable. I don't really see too many other trend lines or too many other reasons for us to get with this such a strong sell. I don't see just jumping into buys. Now I'll give it, here, cheers again to Than. He did get into that buy. So let's just look at the buy because this is straight up simple. If you ask me, these trades might not always be like the crazy bangers, but if you get good at drawing fibs, then you can see you're going to get a reaction. All right, and you can just play the reaction. So, I mean, if we tighten up this Fibonacci a little bit better, maybe we're right on the 78.6. I mean, that's pretty close, right? I mean, we missed the 78.6 by a hair, but the entire time I was calling out, 94, 857. I was actually calling out 94, 830, 39, just, right there on it. So let's just look. What are we saying right here? Jesus, bro. So he called it. There it is. Volume is going to die off. 90. No, 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 no. This is chatting. 9. There it is right there. So right here, I'm calling you out. 94, 839. But he's thinking 93.7. No, no, I said 94, 839, which is right where I had that daily. 94, 839. Right on it. Jesus, it's actually, yeah, right on it. So that's what my original chart was there. As you see, it came right to my blue line and pushed off. So not only is it a daily support and resistance area, it's also the 78.6 fib. Again, I was looking at the tether chart when I called that out. If you do fib top to bottom, also right there, right just a hair above the 78.6. So, yeah, he got a good push on that. So, congratulations. I personally did not take the trade. I'm waiting for this 91.5 mark down here. But we can see there's plenty of reasons for it to come up. Now let's always look on the flip side of that and see what's below us. Shout out to my boy Dak Days because he thinks we're coming all the way back down to the order block, which I do not disagree with. I think he's calling it maybe that order block right inside there, which is not the worst call in the world because if you look at this, you've got these tops, right? And that's basically right where that top is. And so this is the same thing that we were looking at, that I was looking at and I posted yesterday, is just a consolidation, right? Where price was doing what? Up and playing in the zone. Sorry, my computer jumped around, right? And then right there, it finally broke. Okay, so it's not uncommon to think that maybe this will want to come back down to that area, this area, before it pops back off and really goes ballistic. That's 75. And people think I'm fucking crazy if I'm calling out Bitcoin's going to 75. But it's the same game that we were playing back here when I was calling out Bitcoin in the 50s, back here when I was calling out going down to 50. You see this zone, but it needs to do this. I want people to understand that if it's playing around in an area like this, the price is going to want to do this dip and get all of these longs, all these people who are in longs out of there. I made a full video about this. All right. You can see this is the area. You can see there's the order block. That's what it's going to need to do. So this is what I posted the other day on my Discord was here is the consolidation. Here's the little box. You know, don't be surprised. I mean, oh my God. Okay, I can't make this up, right? Doing it live. That's almost the same size from my top line to my bottom line, right? The consolidation area is almost, I mean, I see you have some bottoms down here, but I mean, that's pretty damn close and the exact same size of consolidation that we're doing now. So if you pull this over to the top and where we started to consolidate, I mean, look at how much more room we have to potentially screw around before it pops. So don't be surprised if it does this for a longer period. Let's say it does this for another month or two. I don't know. Maybe till summertime comes. It would not. It's happened before. Let's just put it that way. Let's delete this stuff. Um, Let me get back in here. Zoom back in. We're playing in the consolidation. Go back down to the 4 hour, and yeah. So there's reasons for this to go up. I'm not saying it's going to set an all-time high, but I definitely want to see this 104, 106, 107 area get all up in here, hit this fib zone, take out this liquidity. Maybe give us a good double top of the 109 area. I just don't know how deep it needs to go before we do that. So we would have to be willing to take these chances. It's always a risk, right? So I'm willing to risk, getting back into buys around this 91 area right here. We'll have to see what the market does. If it pushes up from here, okay, let's just say that this is the bottom for some reason. I don't think it is, but if it does push up, then perhaps we can then say, okay, now we know, find some sort of retracement, some sort of consolidation, and then go back long, right? But with it being so aggressive right there, I don't think that's the bottom. I think it needs to come down just a bit more. And I mean, if you have asked me this morning, I would have said that was the bottom, was right, right here. I was not expecting that sell off. So usually on Sundays usually be what I call a dip and a rip. All right, it's been dipping on Sundays and then ripping on Monday mornings and taking off. So we can see that it's taking out this consolidation. I mean, it's taking out that liquidity. We got a dip and we took off. Let's see if we cannot get one more dip in this area, right in here, somewhere in this 93 to 91 area, and then see if we can't get the push all the way back up. I would love to see it, and that's the game plan for me. I'm not looking for sells. I'm only looking for buys because I have all this stuff up here. Now, that was me doing the chart from scratch. Um, let's just draw a couple trend lines just to remind us. Let's just draw it to this top right here. Okay, so there's our trend line. Um, Perhaps, we get into, it would not be a bad thing if this just comes up, finds this trend line, and then rejects again, right? And then finds it. And then maybe it wants to do this for a couple of days. I don't know. But we have to be aware of where that trend line is. And I'd like to show you a perfect case because this is the US 30 trend line, right? So you don't always have to play a trend line break, even though that's what most people play. That trend line can be a form of support or resistance in this situation, and it hit that trend line, followed it, and then it fucking dumped. All right, and honestly, this is US 30. Obviously, it is in our our buy zone, almost at the 88.6 and almost at daily support resistance. So, um, this is not the purpose of this video, but it did take out this liquidity. It is now into the order block, so I kind of want to see this go a little bit deeper. Maybe get just past the 88.6, perhaps a wick below the candle close above, take out half of this order block in this general direction, and then start to buy back up. That's just US 30, but I'm just showing you that you don't have to always play trend line breaks. You could play trend line continuations, right? Bounce off of the trend line and continue, which is what that did. So again, in this situation with Bitcoin, you could be playing these sells off, excuse me, you could be playing the sells off the trend line, right? Especially if you got some Fibonacci or something in that area, you can you can do that for sure. Let's delete this. Now let's just go back to the tether chart just to make sure. Oh, order block. Yeah, okay. So I forgot to put the order block in there, but we had the fib zones, we have the order blocks, the red lines at 236 on the daily. So basically, these two charts look very similar to each other. Besides that order block, so I can put that in there, which is right here, right? This is where the consolidation happened. And the last two, it can make it a little bit smaller. Last two buy candles are right there before it took off. Then we have an order block. So we, come back up and retest that order block, perhaps fill it in, fill in the order block, fair value gap, you got liquidity, you got sell zones. Um, I might have even drawn this fib right there. So instead of fibbing it from there to there, excuse me, got the wrong tool. We fib it from here to there. And then we should be able to move this sell zone to right there. So perhaps that would be a better one. You know, look to get into sells. You also have that TP extension on the 61.8 there. So perhaps this is going to buy up somehow, break through these, and then come short of that daily support resistance. So again, we can make some better educated guess when we get there. We don't know how far in advance that is. But another good thing is, guys, you will see that I have these charts marked up. So, you don't go to war and make the war plan when you're in on the battlefield. You plan this shit out well in advance. So I'm already know that when this is the area that I'm going to be looking for sales, this 106, 107, this area up here, and I'm already telling myself I'm already looking for buys down here, the 91 area, 93 area. Okay, so have this stuff days in advance, weeks in advance, if you will, right? Do not go to the chart blind, mark off your stuff, and then have it good to go. And you'll see, my US 30 lines are here. My NASDAQ, actually, this is my NASDAQ. All right, my NASDAQ charts are already looking here. I'm already, playing the breaks. Goldilocks, I was playing up here earlier with these fibs, looking for a better, you know, got my trend lines, got my zones, got my stuff marked off. I'm looking for an entry down here at the, 89 area. Take out this order block, find this liquidity, and buy back up. Here's the trend lines. It broke. So now that it broke this trend line, you kind of expect it to come down to here. Um, we'll see. But anyways, the point being is have all your stuff lined up beforehand. So yeah, there's the buy that we took. There's the reason why we said it was going to sell off. And then there's the reason why we said it was going to buy back up. We're just playing zones, matching up the zones with liquidity, matching up that with trend lines and the Fibonacci's. And you start adding those things up with RSIs. Now you've got a winning formula. You've got several things showing you what to do. And yeah. So one other thing I wanted to say on this is I don't always use this, but I definitely always look at it. Big shout out to Lux Algo. Lux Algo makes the sickest indicators on TradingView. I've been using the dude for years. I chat with him or post some comments every once in a while on Twitter. Excuse me, X. I don't want a dead name, but I highly suggest you look at his stuff. This is ITC, which again, ITC, love him or hate him. I think he's great. I think that what he says is awesome. And if you see me marking up my charts with order blocks and fair value gaps and this and that, all that stuff is ITC stuff, right? So looking at liquidity, looking at these order blocks, change of structures, buy side liquidities, check out Lux Algo. He has some cool ITC indicators. And then he also posted this the other day, which is machine learning. Go to his X page and you could just get an idea. I'm not necessarily trading because of this. Like right now, his machine learning is saying that Bitcoin is going to 56,000 red line. Like maybe that's a bit dramatic. Maybe I need to come in here and play with the settings, but it gives you an idea of like, okay, Bitcoin should be selling. Maybe I should look for sells. Look at gold. Gold should be maybe selling off. So play with it. He has his super trend indicator on top of the machine learning indicator with the line. It is cool just to look at. It's kind of cool just to get an idea. Again, I think it's a little dramatic as far as going straight down, but it is something to look at and just think about, basically. And just basically a shout out to Lux Algo because he makes some badass stuff. If you guys want, this is my free Discord. Come on in here anytime you want. And the way you get to my Discord or Andy's Discord or anything else is you come to my dot card and you'll have my public Discord, my YouTube page, my X, Instagram, it's the whole deal. Pip Connect, Board Ape. Guys, go buy a Board Ape NFT. You can get it right here at this Magic Eden link. I'm also in BitDogs. I'm in Vtopia. There's the broker. If you need a broker, there's a link to a broker. So go check all that stuff out. All right, and there it is. And you could jump in here and you can see all the crypto trades that we take. And you can see my live stuff. I closed out half here. There's my entry. There's the chart beforehand. There's the Lux Algo stuff. You can see it. I'm marking it off. There's the, liquidity areas, whatnot, and then also do stuff, gold trades, NDC trades, the US 30. Um, you know, if I do any forex, it's pretty limited. I don't do a whole lot of forex, but you can come in here in the chat and go back and forth with this. You see my boy Than killing it already. That little buy that we called at 94. Look at that. He already made 70% on that one. He's posting some of this heat zone stuff up. And then look, there's another one he banged out. There's the entry price, 99. You know, just killing it on the short. And this is us going back and forth, helping each other out. That's what it is. We chop it up, we share ideas, and that is what it is. So there's where we're at on Bitcoin. There's how I did it, the whole 9 yards. So if you guys have any questions, please comment on the YouTube video or go into the Discords. Please follow me. Please like and share this video. I do this all for free, and I'm not charging nobody, no signals, nothing like that, guys. So just do me a favor and like, subscribe, smash that button, join the Discord, say what up. Okay, I'm out of here. You guys have a good night.